So before we get into the 2026 upgrades, I've always been curious, what is it about the Coleman CT200U that's kept it so beloved over the years? It seems like everyone from teenagers to grown-ups has a story about this bike.
Totally. For a lot of people, it comes down to how approachable it is. You don't have to be a mechanic or a pro rider. Just hop on, twist the throttle, and you're off. It's simple, rugged, and honestly, it feels like this little machine can survive anything you throw at it. There's a lot of nostalgia there too, especially because it hasn't changed its core look much since it first came out.
That's so true. Just about every backyard adventure seems to have a CT200U in the background, right? But now, with the 2026 model, I'm seeing some talk about updates. They didn't just slap on new paint and call it a day, did they?
Not at all. What stands out to me is how they kept the classic mini bike vibe. It's still got that unmistakable frame and low seat, but if you look closer, there's a lot of smart tweaks. For starters, the welds are cleaner, which is great for long-term durability, and those reinforced steel fenders are going to save you some headaches if you like riding in rough terrain.
Cleaner welds might sound minor, but anyone who's patched up a frame before knows that's a big deal. I saw they also updated the powder coating. Supposedly it's more scratch resistant now. That's perfect for folks who actually use these bikes the way they're meant to.
Exactly. And don't forget the new handlebar shape. It's a small change, but that ergonomic bend makes a bigger difference than you'd expect, especially if you're out riding for more than an hour. Plus, those chunky all-terrain tires, they just eat up loose dirt and gravel. It's all about making the ride smoother without losing that old-school charm.
Speaking of smoother rides, I'm curious how the engine updates play into all this. Let's get into the guts of what powers this thing. So, we know the CT200U still rocks that 196cc four-stroke, but I heard there are some under the hood changes for this year. Are they noticeable in the way it actually rides?
Honestly, yes. The engine is still the workhorse, super dependable, but the fine-tuned carburetor and upgraded air filter make cold starts way less of a hassle. Last winter, a friend's older model took forever to wake up, but the 2026 version is almost eager to get going, even on chilly mornings.
That's a huge quality of life bump for anyone who rides year-round. And the exhaust update, have you noticed it's quieter now? I mean, it still growls, but you could actually cruise a campground early in the morning without waking up the whole place.
Exactly. It's got a more refined sound, but keeps that little bit of attitude. Plus, with the centrifugal clutch, you really just focus on the trail. No shifting, just twist and go. Makes it so much less intimidating for beginners, too.
That actually ties into something I wanted to ask about comfort. If you're spending hours on back trails, those little upgrades can make a big difference. How does the new model feel after a long ride?
I've got to say, the suspension tweaks were overdue. The new front forks soak up small bumps way better. I took it over some gnarly roots last weekend and barely felt the jolt. And the seat? Still, that signature thick padding, which is a lifesaver after a couple of hours.
That must be a game changer for younger riders or anyone not used to all that trail chatter. I'm also glad they upgraded the braking front disc with rear drum now, right? That's a nice mix of old-school reliability and modern stopping power.
Absolutely. It's so much easier to modulate than before. The lever feels natural, not grabby. Whether you're weaving through woods or just rolling around the yard, it gives you real confidence. And with the low center of gravity, the whole bike just feels planted, even for folks who aren't super tall.
Funny you mentioned confidence. That actually brings us to the new features for 2026. There are a few that really stand out for convenience and safety. So, LED lights are now standard. Finally, that's such an underrated upgrade for anyone who rides at dusk or early morning. And the bigger gas tank, 1.2 gallons, means fewer pit stops, right?
Totally agree, and the grips are a big step up too. The new rubber compound feels way cushier and less likely to tear if you're wrenching hard. Plus, things like the upgraded chain guard and tidier cable routing, those are the little things that make owning and maintaining the bike so much easier.
And for people who love to tinker, the new frame layout seems perfect. It's so much easier to add racks or tool pouches now. No need to break out the welder or drill holes where you shouldn't.
Exactly, and those changes definitely help the CT200U stand out for folks who want to personalize their ride. But under all those upgrades, it's still got that core simplicity that makes it so reliable. Let's talk a bit about why that matters for long-term ownership. What I love is that Coleman hasn't cluttered the CT200U with unnecessary tech. No confusing electronics or finicky sensors, just a tough engine, basic controls, and parts you can actually get to. It's the kind of bike you can keep running for years with just basic tools.
That's a big deal for anyone who wants to spend weekends riding instead of wrenching, especially now that they've made maintenance points even easier to access. Swapping a spark plug or adjusting the carb takes half the time it used to.
And with replacement parts staying affordable, it's not the end of the world if you break something. It's perfect for families too, because you don't have to worry about a minor crash sidelining the bike for months.
So, whether you're a total newbie or just want a rugged pit bike, it feels like this year's CT200U covers all the bases. But who do you think it's really for?
Honestly, if you just want to get out and ride no fuss, no fancy electronics, the CT200U is a solid pick. It's great for young riders, sure, but I've seen plenty of adults use them as pit or ranch bikes. And there's something fun about having a bike that's not intimidating, just pure enjoyment.
That's what I love about it. It's not trying to compete with high-powered dirt bikes or complicated tech. It's simply about fun, durability, and making those everyday adventures a bit more accessible. Not every bike has to be a race winner.
Exactly, and I think that's why the CT200U keeps such a loyal following. It's reliable, affordable, and open to anyone who wants to hop on and go. That's rare these days.
And that pretty much sums it up. Want to wrap us up with your final thoughts on the 2026 model?
What really stands out is how Coleman kept the heart of the CT200U intact, but made all the right little changes. It's more comfortable, easier to maintain, and just as sturdy as ever. For the price, you're getting a ton of value and a really fun ride to boot.
Couldn't agree more. For anyone looking for a budget-friendly trail bike that won't let you down, the 2026 CT200U is an easy recommendation. Thanks for tuning in. Everyone, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives just like this. See you next time on Bike Update.